Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is December 1st, 2022. In this live stream, we're going to make a phone call to the City of Moscow Police, and we're going to share with them the information that we know. And before I make that phone call, I'm going to present to you what I'm planning to discuss with them, and we'll see how they receive the information. And I am debating on driving out to Moscow tomorrow or possibly Saturday. I see the weather's going to be a little bit better in Moscow on Saturday than tomorrow. It's going to be cold both days, but there's supposed to be more sunshine on Saturday. Then again, tomorrow they have a basketball game in the evening time, so that might bring out some students. I might even talk to Sweet Lady and see if she minds if I spend the night there. Maybe I'll do tomorrow and Saturday. So what I'm hoping, though, is that there'll be some people in the area that would come out with me, because if there's a group of us, we're more likely to attract an audience and engage with more people in the community. But yes, we do have the majority of this murder solved, and we've had it solved since pretty much the news broke, because we are privy to what is really taking place in the world, where most people are sadly absolutely clueless. And that's why I continue to put out the information that I do day after day, because humanity needs to know the way we are being toyed with. And notice the City of Moscow Police, who we will be calling in just a moment, were established in the year 1887 during the time of the Jack the Ripper killings. And one of the stories in the King Road killings is that there were 10 mysterious phone calls to somebody named Jack. But somehow the police can't even figure out what that person's last name was, which makes absolutely no sense in the day of registering your phone number, records. Anyhow, let's go through this piece by piece. Again, one of the details, 10 mystery phone calls to somebody named Jack. Last night we had the brilliant caller who pointed out that Jack the Ripper's last murder in the UK was at the 10 Bells pub, kind of like the 10 phone calls to Jack. And of course, Jack the Ripper was in the UK. And like we've been saying, it's no accident that you had the news of the UVA Cavaliers killings and the University of Idaho killings break on the same day, Monday, November 14th, which was King Charles' birthday, the first English monarch of Russian ancestry. Of course, the killings in Idaho are on King Road, and the killings in Virginia was at the university known as the Cavaliers, where the name Cavaliers directly traces to King Charles. Those who fought for King Charles in the English Civil War are Cavaliers. So notice that Jack the Ripper's last murder was in 1888. Just wait until you see why it matters that his last killing was 134 years ago in light of King Charles III. It couldn't be any more perfect. But notice also that his last killing was November 9th, 4 days before the November 13th murders at UVA and University of Idaho. 4 days later, after that anniversary, 4 students dead in Moscow, Idaho. Of course, Moscow also reminds us about what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, which is not an accident. But again, Jack the Ripper's last victim was 25-year-old Mary Kelly, described as having a fair complexion, light hair, rather attractive, kind of like the young women they keep showing from the University of Idaho. And if you're new here, again, gematria, the ancient practice of coding numbers into words, which comes from Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, which was adopted by the Templars and the Catholic Church after the time of the Crusades, when the Templars secured this knowledge, and which is alive and well in the English language, where there's been songs made, Gematria, the killing name, where there's been songs named Murder by Numbers by the Police, where killings as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. Again, if you are new here, Gematria is ABC is 1, 2, 3. Of course, D would be 4, E would be 5, F would be 6, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. That's the most simple cipher. There's also taking the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. There's also running the alphabetic order in reverse. Z is 1 back to A is 26, and running the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology. And notice on the screen, notice the gematria of London, and Moscow. Notice how they have the same four numerical values: 74, 29, 88, 25. Again, King Charles, this news broke on his 74th birthday. Of course, he's the reigning monarch in London. The last Jack the Ripper killing was in the year 88, and the last victim was 25 years old. Notice how the name Jack in these ciphers also has the gematria of 25 and 29, like London and Moscow. We'll talk a lot about the 83 in just a moment. Again, in the same cipher where Jack is 83, so is the word murder. And again, the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. Yesterday, November 30th, 2022, a date with 83 numerology, they had the vigil for the students, and the police added a lot more confusion to the killings on that day. Let's not forget what happened in Uvalde, Texas on Interstate 83 earlier this year, where 19 police officers stood down while 19 children were killed. These same patterns persist a lot in national news stories. Let's not forget what happened in Buffalo on Israel's 74th birthday on Jefferson Street, named after Thomas Jefferson, who was killed on July 4th, the same day Jefferson and Adams both died. Again, in 1826, 1,826 days before Monroe died, and they all died on July 4th, 7-4. 3 of the first 5 presidents coincidentally die on the nation's birthday. Again, these are rituals, and people need to stop sleeping on them. So again, King Charles, born November 14th, 48, turned 74 years old the day the news broke of the Idaho killings and the UVA killings. The killings were both one day prior, just before his 74th birthday. And amazingly, these killings being on King Road in Moscow, notice that the school, University of Idaho, opened its doors October 3rd, the debut of the school, the first day it was ever opened, October 3rd. And from that day to the killings November 13th was 41 days later. The word king equals 41. Talked about so many patterns with king and 41 over the years, including when LeBron James, who they call King James, won the only championship for the Cavs on the real King James's birthday. And of course, King James's son was King Charles, who the Cavaliers fought for. But again, if you were watching back then, we said why LeBron would come back from down 3-1 and win on the real King James's birthday at 40-1 odds. And one of those games fell on a 41 date numerology. And I said, watch, LeBron will score 41 points tonight. And not only did LeBron score 41 in that game, so did Kyrie Irving, who was his teammate at the time. Notice Kyrie, puppet on strings. He won't come out and tell you how rigged the NBA is. He'll just do what he's told. Anyhow, just think of the odds of all this. On King Charles' birthday, on King Road, 41 days after the anniversary of the school's opening. And again, his 74th birthday. Been teaching about how important this number is to these psychopaths who govern over us, who we call elites, in this simple code: killing, holiday, English, energy, gematria, Masonic, occult, London. They're all 74. Run the alphabetic order in reverse. The word free is 74. Roman is 74. Supposedly we got free from London on 7-4. You know, where London is used to be a very powerful Roman military trading post. All roads lead to Rome. Roman architecture all over the nation's capital. Remember, right after the UVA killings, then you had the Chesapeake, Virginia killing, not far from the nation's capital, with all the Roman architecture. Chesapeake, a big fat 74. Over and over this number. Over and over. The mysterious Jack, Jack the Ripper, the UK, King Charles, again, the first British monarch of Russian ancestry, Moscow. And again, notice how Jack and Murderer 83, they wait to have the vigil on 83. They talk about a heavy police presence at the vigil, while the police add more confusion to the story after details that the police did a bad job at the crime scene and might have destroyed any chance for them to catch the killer. Again, what band made the song Murder by Numbers? The band The Police. I would encourage anyone who's never listened to this song before, Murder by Numbers, to take a listen to it. You can also look up the lyrics to the song Gematria, the Killing Name by Slipknot. But I'll read the lyrics to Murder by Numbers by The Police. Again, Uvalde on Route 83, where the police were seemingly also responsible. Once that you've decided on a killing, first you make a stone of your heart, and if you find that your hands are still willing, then you can turn a murder into art. Let's not forget the Police are a band from London. Let's also not forget that Stuart Copley in that band, his father was in the CIA, part of the intelligence community. There really isn't any need for bloodshed. You just do it with a little more finesse. If you can slip a tablet into someone's coffee, then it avoids an awful lot of mess. It's Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3. It's as easy to learn as your ABCs. Repeats. Now, if you have a taste for this experience, if you're flushed with your very first success, then you must try a twosome or a threesome. You'll find your conscience bothers you much less. Because murder is like anything you take to. It's a habit-forming need for more and more. You can bump off every member of your family. And by the way, Sting, who's the lead singer of the Police, what happened to his parents right when his music career took off? Oh, they both died. And anybody else you find a bore. Because it's Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3. It's as easy to learn as your ABCs. Repeat. Now you can join the ranks of the illustrious in history's great dark hall of fame. All our greatest killers were industrious, at least the ones that we all know by name. But you can reach the top of your profession if you become the leader of the land, for murder is the sport of the elected. And you don't need to lift a finger of your hand, because it's Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3. It's as easy to learn as your ABCs. Repeat a bunch of times. And again, a movie was made with this same title, starring Sandra Bullock. And again, look at the title, Murder by Numbers. The E to the 3, the B to the 8, 3883. Also the orange 7 and 9 around the words, murder equals 79 forwards, 83 in reverse, 38 in reverse numerology. And murder equals 34 if you use the alphabetic order of numerology, 3, 4. What time are they saying the Moscow killings happened? Between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. How many people were killed at the University of Virginia? 3. How many were killed in Moscow, Idaho? 4. Murder, 34, 38, 79, 83. Again and again. Talking about the same type of stuff. But yes, Murder by Numbers by the Police came out in 83. Sandra Bullock, the star of Murder by Numbers, her name is 83. The film Murder by Numbers came out on April 19th, which is the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola became the first superior general of the Jesuits. Again, the Jesuits created modern Freemasonry. It's not an accident that the Queen just died on the Virgin Mary's birthday, when the Jesuits are in tribute to the Virgin Mary. And they wear the fleur-de-lis on the crown in the royal family, which couldn't be any more Catholic. But also from Sandra Bullock's 37th birthday to the day that film came out was 38 weeks in a day. And again, when you turn 37, you begin your 38th year of life. So, perfect release, killing, death, RIP, Gematria, English, Kabbalah, Jew, they're all 38. Again, the code comes from Jewish mysticism. Murder, 79. The ABC murders, the Agatha Christie novels, 79. Agatha Christie says when something happens once, it's a coincidence. When it happens twice, it's a pattern. When it happens 3 times, it's a ritual. The ABC murders, Gematria 56 and 79, also like the Society of Jesus. Keep in mind, royal families 56. Notice that the 41 days after the anniversary of the school opening to the killings on King Road was also 5 weeks and 6 days. Again, royal family 56, like the Queen buried 56 days before Charles' birthday. And if you guys weren't here, we predicted at the beginning of the year why the Queen would die this year at 96. I predicted she'd die on the 140th day of the year because Queen of England equals 140. Instead, she died 140 days after her birthday on the Virgin Mary's birthday, and her birth name's Mary. And again, we had Mary Truss as the PM at the time, short-lived. And that show about the Queen on Netflix, they replaced the actress and they got a Mary in there. But here's the Virgin Mary piece that you need to understand with what they've done here. From the last Jack the Ripper killing, November 9th, 1888, again, you have the Jack mystery in the Moscow killing. From that anniversary to this killing is 134 years later and 4 days to go with the 4 victims. Look at King Charles III, 134. The Jesuits venerate the Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary and the Jesuits both equal 134 as well. Let me put this up here so you can see this. Virgin Mary, 136, 134, 62. Look at the Jesuits. 136, 134, 62. And by the way, Queen, 62. Again, Queen Elizabeth became queen on the 6th day of the 2nd month. Her coronation was on June 2nd, 6th month, 2nd day. Queen can be written 6226. Queen's also 73, like how Charles was 73 years old when she died. These killings on the last day of his age while he was 73 years old. Again, the word sacrifice is 73. Ritual sacrifice is 73. United is 73. Kingdom is 73. So I'm probably not going to be able to get all this information in with the police department, but I'm going to make the point to him about, you know, his 74th birthday, King Road, what happened at UVA and Moscow on the same day. And again, they might just laugh at the information. I wouldn't expect anything less from the authorities, but you never know. They might jot it down. It might make it someone's desk, and it might make them nervous because there are people at the authority ranks who do know what's going on, who are playing with the public. And those people need to know that some of us out here are onto them. So I'd also like to go to the town and spread the word and put more pressure on these authority types that are out there. And again, if we could get a crowd or maybe there's even some students right now that are watching who'd like to come out and find this intriguing and would like to ask questions or help share the information. Just like when we were in Seattle, what was it? It was Friday, March 13th, 2 days after the pandemic was declared. We were right in front of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, educating about Event 201, something almost nobody knew about then, and still most of America doesn't know about because the news doesn't share real information. Just keeps people in the dark, plays with their head, plays with their minds, keeps them in fear. That's what it's all about. And that's what this is all about. This thing might be hitting the town of Moscow and Pullman, Washington the hardest. That's what people probably don't realize as well. Washington State University, the Cougars, is right next door to Moscow. So I guarantee all sorts of young students there are probably afraid, thinking they could be next. Moscow and Washington State University are right next door to each other. And I'm sure there's people in the college ranks all across the nation who are getting this story since it's in the national news, and it's got them thinking like, oh my God, this could happen in my town too. People are going crazy. So let's call the line for the police department that was established in the same time as the Jack the Ripper killings. And let's see if let's see how they receive the information. And then after I do that, I'll put out the link to join the stream. And who I would like to join the stream, if anybody's out there, is people who might be willing to show up with me either tomorrow or Saturday at the University of Moscow or at the University of Idaho in Moscow. It's about a 3.5 hour drive each way for me. So I got 7 hours of driving. But hey, after driving across the nation to be out there for 9/11, what's another 7 hours? All right, let's try it out here. 208-883-7180. Okay, let's see what happens. Is this the tip line for the King Roads homicide? Hello?
Tip line.
Sorry, your call's kind of broken up. I have good reception. Is this the tip line for the King Roads homicide?
The Moscow homicide?
Yeah. Yes, Moscow, Idaho.
Yes.
Okay. Are you someone who's in charge, or do you just pass along information?
I pass along the information to the detectives.
Okay. Is it possible to talk directly to one of the detectives?
I can make a note, but they aren't really taking calls right now unless really needed. So I can pass along any information to them.
Okay. Yeah, please, if you have a pen and paper, there's some important notes to take here. So it was Monday, November 14th, that there were two national news stories that seemed to be so related to each other. Of course, both killings were the day before on November 13th. But we got the story out of UVA, the Cavaliers, the killing of the 3 football players. And then the news also broke about the killing of 4 students at the University of Idaho. And what's so interesting about the day the news broke is it was King Charles III's 74th birthday. Now, that's a very special number to a certain group of secret society types that are in every town in this America, and that's the Masons. And it's not an accident this nation's birthday's 7-4. But here's the thing. If you're not aware of this, UVA are known as the Cavaliers. And if you don't know who Cavaliers are in history, they are those who fought for King Charles in the English Civil War. So you have 3 people dead at the Cavaliers University, and then you have 4 more students dead in Moscow. And King Charles happens to be the first English monarch of Russian ancestry. Obviously, Moscow is self-explanatory. And by the way, in the UVA killings, they said the killer was from Petersburg, Florida. Of course, Russia's old capital is St. Petersburg, which moved to Moscow. But anyhow, the reason it matters that it was his 74th birthday, have you ever heard of the practice of gematria? Have you ever heard this word, gematria? So there's a song out there called Gematria, the Killing Name. And there's another song out there by the British band, The Police, called Murder by Numbers, where killing is the sport of the elite. And it's as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. And again, British band. Also, one of the details in the Moscow story is that the women who were killed made 10 mysterious phone calls to a man named Jack. Of course, Jack the Ripper's last victim was killed at the 10 Bells pub. And that was also in the UK. And there's rumors that Jack the Ripper was really connected to the royal family at the time. Now, the thing is, 74. If you take the alphabetic order, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26, if you just label each letter as a number, if you write out the word killing, it equals 74. Of course, 3 of the nation's first 5 presidents in this country died on 7-4. Adams and Jefferson both died 7-4, 1826, and then 1826 days later, Monroe died on July 4th, on July 4th as well, 7-4. But all of these words equal 74. Killing, holiday, like our nation's birthday, 7-4. Occult, Masonic, Jewish, English, gematria. All of these words are 74. And the list goes on. London equals 74. Guess what Moscow equals? Moscow equals 74. And this is not a new pattern. I'm an author. I've written 2 books about this. I was in Buffalo, New York after their mass shooting on Israel's 74th birthday, the store located on Jefferson Street, like Thomas Jefferson dead on 7-4. And again, what's amazing is in that same code, the word murder equals 83. And for some reason, you guys decided to have the vigil on a Wednesday, the only day of the entire year that's had 83 date numerology. The word murder equals 83, like the song by the British band The Police, Murder by Numbers, came out in 83. Of course, down in Uvalde earlier this year, where 19 cops stood down while 19 children were murdered. That school's on Route 83. These patterns are so persistent, these same numbers, 74 and 83 in national news murder stories. And so often it's the police whose stories just aren't adding up. And from just watching the national news, they've said the city of Moscow police might have ruined the crime scene. Yesterday, they added confusion on the 83 date numerology. So again, I would tell whoever the lead detectives are to start looking awfully hard within the department. And the problem is, the Fraternal Order of Police and Masonry kind of go hand in hand. It's just like I live in a little tiny town here, not too far from you, Prosser, Washington, where in the same building you have the police headquarters and the Masonic headquarters. But my guess is that whoever killed those students is probably somebody who puts on a badge each day. And I would take a real good hard look. And again, I think you'll find the killer within. And I think the same type of stuff's been going on nationwide in a lot of these stories that have been used to terrorize us, especially when it comes to the school shootings, because I can't tell you how much they code 74 and 83 over them. But yeah, if any of the detectives would like to talk to me, I am an author. My name's Zachary K. Hubbard. They can look up my research. My latest book, Number Games 9/11 to Coronavirus, opens the book by teaching about 74 and why the Event 201 coronavirus pandemic simulation was right before the pandemic began on the day leaving 74 days left in the year, and how just weeks before that, Carrie Mullis died at age 74 suspiciously. The one doctor who was on the record talking about what a fraud Anthony Fauci is. Here, I'll tell you one more thing that's amazing. From the last Jack the Ripper killing, November 9th, 1888, to these killings on November 13th, 2022, 134 years and 4 days later to go with the 4 students, King Charles III equals 134. 134 years later. And you know what's interesting about your police department? It was established in the time Jack the Ripper was doing all of his killings, 1887.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling this in. We appreciate this information, and I'll make sure to pass it along.
Okay. Be careful working for that police department.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You take care. I guess I could have told her about King 41 and 41 days after the anniversary of the school opening up on King Road, but I'm sure she's already connecting the King Road part. So anyhow, hope you guys appreciated that phone call. I always like to model how the knowledge should be spread. And here, just in case there are some University of Idaho students out there, or maybe some Washington State Cougars, I could stop by Washington State. Hey, is Pipeline Pizza still there? That used to be my spot. I didn't go to Washington State, but I had friends that went there. Wonder if it's still open. Maybe COVID shut it down. But let me open up for anybody out there. Again, if you guys don't see, if I'm just sitting here and saying nobody's joining, that means unfortunately there's no students. But I did just put the link in the chat. Again, if you want to join, you don't need to show your face. All you need to do is open up your mic. Just click that link, follow the on-screen instructions. It's very simple. You can get in if you're on your smartphone, computer. Either way will work. But yeah, I really would like to go to the campus tomorrow. It's just, I have the megaphone. I don't feel like the megaphone is the right way to bark out the information, since it's a little bit sensitive. You have all these scared students. Anyone could be the killer. Probably most students aren't going to find it comforting that the police are the likely killers. But KLS is the first in the room. KLS, you got to connect at least your microphone for me to I can't let you on until at least your microphone's connected, but we do have one person in the room. They're just getting their stuff ready. If you made it here just in time, you're probably going to want to rewind the stream and watch the beginning that you missed. Just do it on that playback speed of 1.5, and you'll be caught up in no time. If you guys don't know how to do that, usually in the corner there's a gear of a YouTube video, and if you click on that, one of them says playback speed, and that's how I usually watch most videos. I'll put it on 1.5. If somebody speaks clearly enough, you can even put it on like 1.75 or sometimes even ×2, and you can zoom right through information and get it all in if you're listening. Here, while we're waiting for KLS to get their devices connected, who thinks a detective's going to call me back? I've made plenty of calls like this over stories like this over the years. I've never gotten a call back. Not one call back ever. Yeah, exactly. Moscow and Pullman are right next door to each other. Chigozi doesn't think they will. Yeah, they probably won't. Well, so far we just got one person in the room. I'm hoping that I'm hoping they go to the campus, but I think they're. You know what it is? The first time you try to go on, like if you have an iPhone, it does all this security setting stuff, and then you got to go into your settings and undo all the security stuff, and it really is annoying how difficult Apple makes it. I'm guessing this person's on an iPhone and they're trying to figure out how to get through the security settings just so their mic can be allowed, or maybe even their camera. But it's like, God, Apple, if somebody clicked on something to go in and participate in a live stream, why make them go through all these steps? It's just, it's annoying. So. All right. Also, while we're waiting for somebody to get in the room, I can just read responses in the chat. Oh, shoot, KLS dropped out. Maybe they couldn't get past the security settings. But do you guys think it is a? Do you guys think I should go to the campus, or do you think it's just better left just doing a video like this? I like being in person, engaging with people, but I'm just wondering. It's cold. From watching the news, a lot of people have already dropped out for the semester. I am a busy person. It's like, man, it is going to be 7 hours of driving, but at the same time, I want to do it. What's up, Fast Nissan?
Hey, how's it going, bro?
It's going all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just got a couple questions. I'm not really new to the this case, but I started watching your channel with the takeoff case.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, you dropping some gems for sure. It's interesting. I'm new to it, so I'm kind of trying to understand it. But what calculator do you use? Like what website?
Well, there's several websites right now that have the same calculator website. My own website, GematriaEffectNews, uses the same calculator as Gematrinator.com. And for people who don't know, if you guys do go to my website, the one thing that's nice about at my website is if you have a smartphone, if you go to my website, GematriaEffect.news, click the calculator tab, and then scroll down, you can download the app calculators that work offline. They're totally free to download. They're on both platforms, Android and Apple. But yeah, this calculator right here that's set up with the base ciphers, and you can add more ciphers as you want. It's the exact same as the one that's at Gematrinator.com. And this cipher has been mirrored by Ali at ciphers.news. So again, and the reason everyone's using this format is based on my research. At the end of 2016, I concluded that these were the ciphers that people should really know if you want to see through the rituals that are taking place in the mainstream. And, it took over 3 years of research to come to that conclusion. And I think, what I've been demonstrating for the last it was about this time in 2016, 6 years ago, that we realized that this was the system. So, and like I was just showing, London and Moscow have all the same values in the base system, and all of those numbers are so relevant to this story right now. And so again, that's why we teach it this way, because it just lines up day after day understanding these ciphers. So.
Yeah, I've been trying to find that calculator you use, because a lot of the calculators, online, they don't really give you a whole lot.
Sure. Gematrix.org uses just the alphabetic order times 6, the alphabetic order, and Jewish gematria. And Writing the Beast has the alphabetic order, the rules numerology, and something known as English extended gematria. But yeah, like I said, the 3 websites that I just showed you, they're all set up with the same. This is the way I would teach this knowledge to anybody, to learn these ciphers first. They're the ciphers that allow you to see through the rig sports, the rig news day after day. So
Okay. So you're saying pretty much like learn the ones that you teach, like the ordinal, the reduction, reverse reduction.
indeed.
I
Indeed.
got you.
And if you, by the way, I mean, you can, so my first book, Letters and Numbers, if you go to my website, GematriaEffect.news, the top pin post, you can go to where it says download ebooks for free. The book, Letters and Numbers, the green one, there's a chapter on there on all the Gematria ciphers that are on gematrinator.com. Well, since I wrote the book, he's added a few new ciphers. But all the ciphers that were on there in 2017 when I wrote the book, it gives a breakdown of all those ciphers, where their relevance comes from, how they're best used, where they fit in. So if you're trying to learn more than just the base ciphers, I'd encourage you to read that chapter in that book.
Yeah, it gets deep, man. I'm just new to it, but a salute, man. I appreciate the time.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, take care. All right. Well, he was the only person who came in the room. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. They do pronounce Moscow, Idaho as Moscow. Instead of Moscow, they do pronounce it Moscow. Moscow. But we're mostly used to saying that name through the Russian way. But yeah, it's spelled the exact same way. So all right. Well, unfortunately, we don't have any students seemingly that want to participate. And again, I'm going to debate on going out there. I want to go there, but I don't know how effective it's going to be. I wish I had gotten that microphone and speaker setup that I had in New York that Lincoln Karam let us use. I'd go if I had that right now, because that is the way to get out a big message in a big way, and not, because the thing is being on the megaphone, it's loud, but it like comes across as aggressive when you're speaking into a mic with a nice speaker setup. It's a lot more welcoming. It makes an audience want to gather around and listen. When you're on the megaphone, more people will think you're like a crazy person. So, but yeah, it's just frustrating that you put out information this good for all these years. And again, you guys, had I never been censored by big tech, we'd probably have 50,000 people on the stream right now. We'd probably have students calling in, but we've been buried in the algorithm. It's hard for anyone to find the channel. Even if they search the right keywords, it's probably still not coming up unless they know to sort by latest. That's the trick through getting through YouTube's algorithm at this point. And someday I'm sure they'll plug that up as well. But yeah, I just wish there was someone phone up and being like, you know what? I got the speaker and microphone. Come out and share right now. So I'll debate. Again, the point of going there would be to be effective and have an impact. And I'm just not sure if it's going to be that way if I'm out there as one guy with a sign. So all right. I'll keep you guys posted, though. I might do it. I might not. Yeah, right. The Matrix says get the setup at Best Buy. I guess that's a thought. I could swing by Best Buy. I really do want to get the same thing that Lincoln Karam had, just because that setup was money in the bank. I got a little bit overwhelmed, though, when he sent me the list of everything he was using. I was like, God, there was that much equipment that day? I was like, I don't know if I know how to work that much equipment. So here, I'll show you guys his email of everything that he said I need for what we had in New York. Check this out. It's not cheap either. It is not cheap. Hold on. hold on. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to show you this full list of equipment you need to pull off what we had in New York. And unfortunately, you know, our best presentation in New York, YouTube had to take down the video. It just sucks that the way we get censored, man. There was no reason for that presentation in New York to be taken down. Gathered a nice audience outside the bookstore. That's the real reason it got taken down, just because they don't even want people seeing how you can go out on the streets of New York and get people to stop in their tracks and listen to mind-blowing information. Okay. All right. I want to do this without giving away his email. There we go. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. This is what we had in New York. The Bose S1 Pro multi-position PA system. He had this nice leather backpack. You don't necessarily need that. He had the speaker stand. He had the Rode wireless go-to single compact digital wireless microphone system. I'm like, I don't even know how to set up all this stuff. He had the additional microphone kit for 2 people in case another person wanted to get on the mic. I wouldn't necessarily need that. He had the Rode microphone. He had the microphone receiver adapter. It's like, where's all this stuff go? The microphone charging kit. It's like, in addition to all this equipment, I need Lincoln Karam to come set it up for me. But yeah, shout out to Lincoln, because if you guys missed our trip to New York, I mean, it was very effective. And in large part, it was thanks to Lincoln showing up and giving us this equipment to use. So, let's just go on Best Buy's website real quick, because that is a thought. I could stop by Best Buy. There's got to be one between here and where I'm going to. Bose, hold up. Bose S1. But the other thing I remember Lincoln told me is it's got to be charged. He said it doesn't come charged out of the box. So that's the other component. I mean, it's like, well, where am I going to charge the thing at? I guess if I waited till Saturday, if I could drive to the closest Best Buy, which is about 50 miles from here. Then it's the Yakima Best Buy that never has anything in stock. But if they did have it, I guess I could charge it up here and go out there Saturday. All right, if everything plays out right, if they got one in stock, I can. So it'd probably end up being Saturday then, because I'd have to get the equipment, charge it up, test it out to make sure I know how to use it, and yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it's expensive stuff, but it's awesome. So I mean, to me, it's worth $700. Yeah, that speaker. I mean, if you didn't watch, I mean, it was booming. You could hear it down city blocks in New York City, which is a loud place. So that speaker is no joke. It's exactly how you want to do it. If you want to set up on a college campus and get the students to hear from distance and come and be like, wait a minute. Yeah, waking people up isn't cheap, you guys. You know? You think $700 for the speaker is a lot? You should have seen how much I spent on gas driving across the nation several times this year. So, thank you to the people who do support the work. You guys made it possible. Thank you for the person who says you'll start uploading my videos. Again, anyone is welcome to upload my videos anywhere. All of my stuff is free to share. You guys can download my videos and upload them anywhere, anytime. All right, guys. Well, I was hoping we'd get some students in here to engage, but It wasn't so. I mean, that's why I feel like that. I don't feel like this channel reaches any new people. I feel like it's just kept out of everyone's feed. Because again, it's even the subscribers of my channel don't even get notifications that I'm live. That's why the work's not growing. That's why it's been stagnant. It sucks, man. It sucks that they've pretty much cut off the information to new people. So I don't know how to overcome it. These other platforms aren't any better. For Tio, rewind the stream. Take that red bar and rewind it to the beginning and watch from the beginning. So all the information was at the beginning. But all right, I'm going to leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. It is getting to be dinner time out here. Shout out to all the Truth Seekers. Shout out to Shark, who helped make the New York trip awesome. Shout out to Mr. Futures, who made the New York trip awesome. Gematria32. You never seen somebody roll blunts at the dinner table in the restaurant the way Gematria32 does. I was like, man, we live in a different age. I guess some things are getting better. Gematria32, man, he must. Gematria32, I was like, God, at the time I'm here, I'm pretty sure he's rolled like $1,000 in blunts. Gematria32, could you secretly bankroll the movement the way you smoke weed? Anyway, appreciate all of you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. If you're in the other part of the world, have a great rest of your day. And I'll keep you posted on the trip out to Moscow. That is the real right way to say it. Moscow, Idaho. Till next time.